Yo, what's good everyone, it's HoodWil. Today I'm going to be showing y'all how I make guitar blast type beats. So I want you guys to leave a like for this video right now, and if it didn't help you, then unlike it at the end of the video. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a snack, watch the video, learn how to make a blast type beat. I'm going to show y'all how to make a blast type beat. If you do not know how to make a blast type beat by the end of this video, leave a comment saying, fuck you HoodWil, you didn't show me how to make a blast type beat. And then unlike the video, dislike it if you want. But I'm going to show you how to make a blast type beat.
HoodWil.
So the first secret to blast type beats is getting the right sounds. So we started off with contact. The best thing you could do is actually learn how to play a guitar, or get a friend that knows how to play the guitar and be like, yo bro, make me a blast melody, you know? Do that little thing. If you can't do that, then just get a sampler VST. You could use Omnisphere, you could use one shots, which do sound good. Your best bet is gonna be using like something like Orange Tree samples, Contact, or you could use a free Contact library, use whatever. We got RC20 on there, that's just making it sound vintage. Then we got a little EQ, kind of like a telephone EQ, cut out the low end, high end, make it sound vintage. Some reverb, and then there's also reverb on here, a little bit delay. Pretty basic effects. The guitar on its own already kind of sounded vintage. I probably start off with chords like this. Basically, if you move this down, it's in a harmonic minor scale, meaning that it's all white notes and then G sharp, and then there might be another G in there. I don't know. Yeah, there's a G right here. So I kind of go in and out of it. So there's like accidental notes too. So it just starts with the basic chord progression. You just lay down the chords, skip every other note in the scale. You start with A, but I started on a D. So D, F, A. That's every other highlighted notes. You can see it goes light, dark, light, light, dark, dark. And then I believe I moved it up to here. And then you just do this. You just put the notes on however you want them to sound, kind of like an arpeggio. Another secret to guitar melodies is also, for this beat, I did put like a middle note, but you do skip some notes because the way a guitar works is it has a certain amount of strings. Certain notes you're gonna play on certain strings. So this might actually be like more like up here. But for this melody, I just kept it like simple. Another secret is this little thing right here. Like that's how someone would play it on the guitar. You would also do a little grace notes, which I didn't add any, but you could do it just like this, put a little grace note, and then it's like that. Like that, and it sounds really good. Basically, the melody just started off like this. And then you just want to make sure to use a high quality contact bank, because that's just gonna sound the most like a guitar if you don't already have a guitar, which I do, but I can't play that well. All right, and then I use this Andromeda Mondo Rondo bass, great West Coast bass. And I just followed the bass notes of the guitar, which obviously I made it on the same pattern, and then I split mixer tracks, which you do up here by right clicking. Pattern, split by channel. The pattern started off like this, where it's just one pattern, but then I split it like that. And I just followed the bass notes. With a little note right here too. And there's a little glide on this one too. I added this lead. I just probably played it by hand. A good secret for playing stuff on piano if you can't play that well. My MIDI keyboard has a way that you can change the key. So you just change it up to where you're playing all black notes or all white notes, and it fits that scale, if that makes sense. And you could do this in FL also. You just have to click these, right click them, and then it changes what note you're playing based on what the key is. I just used the basic FM8 preset for this, put a little glide on it. And then I used another FM8. I got this from HT, he does this a lot, I think. Sometimes I like to put a little vibrato on it by messing with the mod wheel. I don't know if this FLP is just messed up or if that's how the beat sounded, I'm not sure, but And then we just added some Rhodes with the same chords, but I switched them up a little to make them darker. And a good rule of thumb for West Coast is like chords like this. Say you have an A minor chord, you could just put a B there, and then it makes it darker and more like spooky. That sounds like Tinashe shit or something. And then we added this lead right here from Expand. And again, we have a grace note there, more grace notes right here. All you do is just put a note, move it over, just like that. Really easy. And then drums, simple, we just have a rim shot, which you just put in halftime, you put it on these notes, red notes, which is the 2 and the 3. We added a kick. Just do that to taste, to where the bounce sounds good. What really makes blast beats is really the hi-hats. The hi-hat pattern. For blast beats, there's really 3 secrets to hi-hats, so I'm just gonna cut this. Insert 4 steps, which is what blast does a lot. Insert 4 steps, copy and paste it. That's what blast does a lot with his hi-hats. It has that simple 1, 2, 3, 4 bounce. He likes to put shift on his hi-hats too. That way it's not like clashing with the, it sounds more humanized. It sounds like it's more organic. Another secret is he likes to use 1/6 beat, which is like a little triplet note in halftime. So just do that. And you get here, it already has that blast sound. So we're just gonna copy and paste the hi-hat pattern I already had. But this one, I definitely made some changes. I kind of just did it like regular West Coast one, but my starting point, I probably started with the 1, 2, 3, 4 hi-hat pattern and just added these rolls and whatnot. And then I added velocity and then some panning. And then they're changing pitch too. So for this beat, I definitely didn't keep that 4 steps pattern, but that was my starting point. But you can see it really has that blast type of feel to it. It's a really good starting point for you to make your beats, but you also want to be creative with your beats, have your own sauce to it, and just be your own person. And we added a simple open hi-hat. And then another secret I like to do in FL Studio. I notice a lot of Ableton people, they have their drums so they're cut. What I do to make it have that Ableton sound is hold it and then I shorten the notes so the hi-hat is actually shorter. Instead of like FL, you would usually use the fade out knob, which does a similar thing, but it's not like a square waveform where it stops like instantly. But basically it's just cutting the note short without fading it out. And there's a little scratch here too. Little shaker. Another West Coast secret is we like to do these little 8th note perks. So it just goes like 1, 2. I did it with this rim. You can see there. And cowbell. Another West Coast secret, I like to do so these 1, 2, 3 patterns. The bounce goes like that. You could put that on like beats like this. But basically that's the same thing, but I cut out the first note and that's how I place the cowbell. The 1, the 4th, 8th note of the 1, the and of the 2. So if you don't know how to count music, it's like 1 E and a 2. That's how you count 16th notes, and then 8th notes is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and obviously quarter notes is 1, 2, 3, 4. And we got this little Zapp and Roger perk right here. Obviously a stomp. And I shortened that the same way I shortened the hi-hat. I think all my drums were kind of like had an envelope on them on this beat. Triangle. We added 808, which I just copied and pasted the bass line from the bass. And you want to make sure to cut itself so the bass isn't clashing with it. It's on cut by 6. Because it's short, they won't clash. So, and we have this little clap roll note right here, and then 1/6 beat note roll, triplet notes right here. And obviously I messed with the velocity and the panning too. That's another perk secret to use on your perks is panning. And then a reverb clap. I feel like there's a little song quality when you use like transitions and stuff, like reverb claps, cymbals. So I used like stuff like this, which is kind of like similar to EDM, to where they have like little buildups in it, but it makes it complete as a song, I feel like. And you can hear like it just has more of like a build-up quality, you know what I mean? For the arrangement, we added these bounces that you would add in West Coast. But I did a little different. Usually people do 1, 2, 3, 4. But all you do for that is you just take this, or you could take the drums. I've been doing drums recently. I used to do the melody and the drums. Basically do this, highlight all of them, which is control and left click, shorten them to the beats, and then you go like this, drag them on 1, 2, 3, 4 on the 4. And then you could also shorten it. And what I did was I shortened it. I think I shortened it actually shorter than that, but. And then I added a little scratch here and then took out this one. But that's basically how I did that. So you have a little intro here, hook, a verse right here, and then hook again, verse, and it repeats, and then outro right here. And then basically you just want loud here, breaks down a little bit, goes in the verse, a little pre-hook, so it builds up, and the hook drops right here. Basic arranging. Just do it whatever feels best to you. And then for the mixing, pretty simple. You just want the kick to be hitting. I think of it like kind of like a pyramid, like a mixing pyramid. It just looks like some Illuminati. I think of it like the kick, 808, sometimes like the snare, rim shot. Like in this beat, the rim is probably pretty loud. You want that hitting, but if you have like a clap, maybe a little bit quieter, snap maybe. But usually you want the kick and the bass to be hitting. Bass a little bit under the kick. Clap, snare, whatever you're using. This beat I'm using a rim shot. Sometimes you want it loud, sometimes you want it a little more ducked down. You want that up there, and then the hi-hat a little bit below that. Sometimes you want the hi-hats loud, and then the perks you kind of just do it to taste, a little bit under all that. And then the melody you want low, and you can see that here. And then sometimes I do mix with no headroom and I just throw a soft clipper on here, but for this beat it just sounds really crisp as a crisp mix. I just put a little slight compression on here and I mix it with headroom, and then made sure the attack was slow, release is fast, low ratio, which means it's compressing it a little bit. I used a little bit of imager on ozone. I brought the ceiling down and compressed it more with the threshold. The secret with ozone is you want the LUFS probably around like -10, -8, around there, maybe sometimes -11. Recommended for streaming is like -14, but you really want it louder than that, so you want it like around here. And you can see it's hitting -8 LUFS, and then you want to change the attack. I don't know if I changed it, but it's at 0.6. So this basically just makes it more, this makes it more square. So it's like clipping a little more. And this does the opposite. It just relaxes it a little bit. I put soft clipper on the kick. So it went like this, and then I clipped the kick. Same with the 808. So it still has that soft clip quality, but it's not clipping the whole song, fucking with the melody and the drums and whatnot. Because sometimes when you do use soft clip, you notice it starts to clip the melody, and that doesn't really sound good sometimes. But sometimes it does sound good. But do what you want on your mixing and do what sounds good. And that's basically how I made this beat. Anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like, comment if this helped you. Actually comment right now what video you want next, because I do not know what to make. I do not know if you guys want West Coast beats, trap beats, anything vocal mixing. Just comment below what you guys want to learn next, and I'm going to show it to you. And be on the lookout for me and Swoopy's Electra bank. We're working on that. It's coming out soon. I know you guys liked the last one. A lot of people liked the West Coast Electra bank me and Swoopy made, but another one's coming out soon. It comes with one shot, so if you don't even have Electra as a VST, you could use the one shot. And then it also comes with loops, so if you want to collab with me, like my melodies, when you like Swoopy's melodies, you can make tons of beats, make 10 beats in 20 beats in a day. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bruh, I look like one of those alpha male YouTubers with these sunglasses, but okay, so the secret to making blast type beats is to abuse women.